This one's going to be easy. I think we got a layup. We got a layup on our A-hole of the week for this week. So came from our Thursday night game between the Browns and the Steelers. So, of course, the A-hole of the week is Mason Rudolph.
What?
What?
You're gonna blame it on Mason Rudolph? Are you out of your effing mind?
Explain yourself how.
I think we should cut
how you could be on record
and give you some freaking Ritalin or Prozac, whatever the hell you need.
I don't.
The same thing that they need to give Myles Garrett. You need.
I have this. I have this perfectly figured out. I don't know what's going on with my partner, but if you want to start, you want to explain yourself as to why it is that Myles Garrett would be the.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills right now.
You sound insane. Do you realize that?
No.
The recipient of the
You
A-hole
are the most biased Browns fan.
Has nothing to do with bias.
Listen, if I go second, you have no chance. So let me go first. I'm going to give you a chance.
Nothing to do with bias.
So, all right. So here's the thing. Real quick. Italy versus France about 12 years ago, World Cup.
Zidane.
Mm-hmm. The Italian player went up to Zidane, who's the best player in France at the time. I think he's like 80 now. But and he said something about his mother and his sister and some sexual...
Banging him. Right.
Yeah.
Something
and the guy headbutted.
Zidane. Why, oh why, would he do that in his final international...
He lost it, headbutted, he got kicked out of the game. Right. Italy wins the World Cup. Right. So, Mason Rudolph, I don't know what he did, and you may be able to tell me what he did. Let's just say he said, Myles Garrett, you're an asshole. Let's say he gave him a punch in the stomach when they were on the ground. Fine. Myles Garrett gets up and he just takes him. He wants to slam him to the ground. Whatever. It's a physical sport. Hockey, they provoke that. They love it. They let them fight. It's the only way you can get people to watch this stupid sport. And then NASCAR, you need people to crash. I think they probably intentionally put bad tires just because why else would you watch this stupid sport?
There it is. Mr. Babcock, can I take a ride in your car?
Well, my A car was just incinerated, but you could ride in my B car.
I don't see why not.
So anyway... So if Myles Garrett, something happened, he was provoked by Rudolph, he wants to get up and slam him into the ground, he wants to, whatever, I'm fine with it. It happens all the time. When you rip a guy's head off and the helmet comes off, and then you turn around and you swing that thing with that kind of force, Myles Garrett is one of the biggest freaks, and I mean that in a good way, physical freaks in football. He is absolutely all world, strong. When you take that long arm and all that muscle and you whip that helmet, which is a deadly weapon, and smash a guy in the head that weighs like 50 pounds less than you.
Was that wrong? Should I not have done that? I tell you, I gotta plead ignorance on this thing, because if anyone had said anything to me at all when I first started here that sort of thing was frowned upon...
You've lost your mind, and to me, suspending the rest of the year is fine. I mean, but it's got to be more than that, and there's no way you could defend him. It's indefensible. I mean, it's like the guy he needs to be put into a mental facility for a little while. They need to make sure this guy is right, because let me tell you something. Rudolph is 225 pounds or something. I weigh 165. If that guy did that to me, I'd be dead. If that guy flips out in a supermarket, he could kill everybody in the place. There's something wrong. They need to put him under some serious shrinks. They need a team of scientists like the Elephant Man in Switzerland. They need to study this man's brain and figure out what's going on. Does he have some of that concussions thing? Maybe we had concussions in high school and college. That was the most crazily unprovoked thing I've ever seen in my life.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
And I can't wait to hear you say this is Rudolph's fault.
So...
Wow.
The situation that occurred is Mason Rudolph's fault. And that's why he's the a-hole of the week for me. And that's why he's the a-hole in this situation. Now, this does not mean that Myles Garrett by any means was right or it's excusable that he swung a helmet at Mason Rudolph, because absolutely.
And hit him in the head.
I'm going to stop laughing when I do. Yes, I will say that, of course, that could have went a lot worse. He he swung his helmet at him. He could have hit him in a certain spot in the head. This could be a whole lot worse of a story. But what I'm saying is that we should have never been in this position to begin with for a couple of reasons. One, you mentioned it. You said Myles Garrett is a beast, right? A physical freak.
Awesome,
he's
monster.
6 whatever. He's one of the baddest men in football. He had 10 sacks through 10 games. And in that game, here's what was going on. Myles Garrett was making Mason Rudolph and the Steelers his bitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Browns had won the game. Right. So here's the Steelers. They come in. They've been playing really good football. They're thinking playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Right? Because, if they keep winning, maybe they're going to actually have a chance at the wild card. Their division rival, the Browns, come in, or, obviously, host them, and they beat them. And Myles Garrett was beating them all night. And at the end of the game, he sacks him one more time. And what does Mason Rudolph decide to do? He throws a little fit.
Deep in the recesses of my brain, a tiny red-hot little flame began to grow.
He throws a little, he throws a little fit.
Fit to get smashed in the head with a helmet by a 270-pound guy. Are you kidding me?
You know that the footage is rolling, obviously, as we're talking about this. So in case you haven't seen it and really dissected it, Mason Rudolph gets sacked and decides he's going to take his hands, put it on Garrett's head, and try to... First, he's going to smash his head into the ground. Then he makes a ridiculous effort to try to take Myles Garrett's helmet off his head.
Wow, I did not notice that.
Yeah. Right. So Myles Garrett, of course, he loses it, right? He loses it, and he says, you know what? I'm taking your helmet off. That's what he was determined to do.
Okay, fine.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Couldn't that have been enough, though?
Okay, right. So shouldn't that have been enough for Mason Rudolph, who, again, has started this because he's throwing a little fit, because he doesn't like that he lost. He doesn't like the team lost. He doesn't like that he's been getting his ass kicked all year. Listen, I remember a story. I'll never forget this. My brother, T. Hill.
Oh. Wow. Put a picture up of T. Hill, please.
He's playing a basketball game. He's playing a basketball game one day. This is at the park by our house. And there's this black guy who is just really good. And he's dominating. My brother's on the other team.
Your brother's white, right?
Right. My brother. It's about as white as
you can be. Yeah.
Right. So the guy's just dominating, and he's trash talking and having a good time, but nothing, he's just really good, and he's embarrassing the other team, including, my brother who's on that other team. So my brother gets the fucking bright idea that one of the times when the guy's coming down the court and he makes a move, he's got everybody beat, he's going up for the layup or whatever, my brother takes his legs out. The guy gets up. One punch, it's over. Right?
This is even more painful than it looks.
Right?
Poor Todd.
Yeah, but
he's a lover, not a fighter.
Right, but can you really,
right.
Should the guy have...
What if the guy went out and grabbed a boulder off the ground and smashed him in the head? That's my problem.
Okay, understood.
Ripping off his helmet, punching him in the face, throwing him, body slamming him, all that's fine, but... Dude, the helmet.
Okay,
the helmet weighs like 20 pounds. They're so powerful, those helmets. You can't smash a man in the skull with a helmet. You can't do that.
Smokey, this is not Nam. There are rules.
This is not about making a case for Myles Garrett was justified or it's excusable that he did what he did when he swung that helmet. But let's go back to
so you're saying he provoked it.
Let's go back to our story. So obviously, right, tries to put his head in the ground, tries to take his helmet off. So Myles Garrett's reaction clearly is, I'm taking your helmet off.
Right.
And he was determined.
Fine, I have no problem with that.
So he finally gets that helmet off, right? Now, at this time, the Steelers' offensive lineman has Garrett wrapped up. Now, Mason Rudolph, at this moment, has a chance to say, I started this, I can end it right here. Because like you said, he's 50, 60 pounds less than Myles Garrett. He threw a little tantrum. He was probably hoping that he could throw his little tantrum, knowing that as offensive linemen, we're gonna protect him. For example, would he have done that to Myles Garrett in a dark alley when it's just the two of them? No,
I hope not.
No,
maybe he needs a medication.
But sometimes you see it, like a guy like, oh, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna stand up to that big guy, but it's because I'm at a bar and I know there's bouncers and I know.
Right. Oh, those tough guys.
Remember the movie Dazed and Confused? Dazed and Confused.
And he thinks everybody's gonna break the fight up.
Right,
you gotta roll that.
Don't air raid for that bitch. I hate that shit. It's like that Clint fucker in front of all his friends. Huh? A motherfucker.
All right. Okay, Mike.
Dominant male monkey motherfucker.
Right. Absolutely. So I think Mason Rudolph is thinking, that's the situation I'm in right here. So he does what he does. Myles Garrett reacts, obviously takes his helmet off. Now, again, the Steelers lineman has him wrapped up and has moved him back. Mason Rudolph right there can get up and walk away. He can just walk away. You know what I mean? No, he gets up and he goes charging on Myles Garrett. So again, it doesn't excuse that at that moment, Myles Garrett takes his helmet and swings it at him. Stupid. As a Browns fan, I am not defending Myles Garrett. I agree with Baker Mayfield. I love what he came out and said. You can't do that. That hurts the team. Right. That's the most idiotic thing. You're absolutely right. Maybe the guy does need some
anger management.
Some anger management, some counseling, because clearly he does have some anger issues. It's a game that you would imagine, yes, obviously, can induce a lot of anger. But Myles Garrett, for all his greatness, he is one of the more highly penalized guys. He has had a lot of, roughing the quarterback and unnecessary roughness type penalties. And you have to understand how to draw that line of, being aggressive and competitive without, endangering people or taking it too far. But for me, like I said, I was watching that live. You know me, of course, Browns fan. So I'm watching it. I'm just enjoying that my Browns have this victory, and even though it was over, it was still on, and all of a sudden,
I had a big bet. I needed Pittsburgh to score, so I waited till the last second, thinking maybe they get a garbage touchdown, and I could cover my. But anyway, you've convinced me to change my vote for the A-hole of the week.
What?
You did. And the A-hole of the week is Mike Tomlin. Because Mike Tomlin is a total asshole. Let me explain why.
Right.
This is neither one of their...
This is taking a twist.
It's not Rudolph's
Nobody
fault.
saw this twist coming.
It's not Myles Garrett. They're both wrong. But the guy that initiated it is Mike Tomlin. You know why? When the game is over, you have to know to just say, that's it. You got no one to hold them, no one to fold them. And this is a problem in the NFL. And guys like Idiot Tomlin, who have these big egos... You are done. The game is over. You have guys like Myles Garrett that can literally break Rudolph in half on one play.
Why is he throwing?
Why are they still playing like that? Why are they throwing the ball when there's nothing you can do to win the game? It's over. The game is over. There's like 6 seconds. They're down multiple scores. There's no way you can win. Right. It's mathematically impossible. Yet Tomlin is out there risking every player on the field for injury. People get injured on and like Connor got injured on a play he shouldn't have been in. You got guys like C-Mac that are in games when the game should be over. It's got to stop. The bottom line is you got to have enough just integrity, enough sportsmanship to say, kneel down and we'll play next week. We lost tonight. You were the better team. We're not going to risk our people. Why are you risking these guys? And look what happened because of this idiot.
And that's your second
throw the ball.
Right. You want to go back to Nick Folk or what was his name?
That was the guy in the Jets. But Hobbs or something? Was it Hobbs?
Right.
But bottom line is,
the point is, you do still have a competitive team. You're not completely out of the playoffs. You've lost that game,
but you lost. Live the fight another day.
Absolutely.
And don't risk all the offensive linemen that could tear their knees on any given play. He'll get hurt all the time. Hamstring injuries. You're asking these guys to play a meaningless down for no reason. And now you have a fight breaks out because there's frustration, because there's two teams that are very competitive, because one team's been embarrassed on national television. Mason Rudolph, what do you have, 4 picks or something like that?
Right.
Yeah, a terrible game. And now he's pissed. He's upset because Garrett made him look like an idiot in front of all his family. Maybe now they're thinking Big Ben's got to be back next year. You're just not the right. I mean, he's pissed. He's angry. So whatever the case may be, he goes after Garrett because Garrett's the one that, is the face of his anger. And then Garrett flips out. But who's the idiot? Who's the a-hole? Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. Wow.
Mike Tomlin, a-hole. Omar Epps. I've always said you were an a-hole. You're an a-hole. You're standing there and you almost tripped the guy that one time. You're a jackass. Bring back Cower. I've had it.
You can always expect some good twists from the two bald a-holes. I didn't see it coming.
It wasn't planned.
The viewers didn't see it coming.
It's authentic.
But that just happened.
And there will be no apology.
Mike Tomlin, a-hole
of the week.
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. What? You get it?
I get the gist. Championship.